Hello, and welcome to R&R's Real Stories in Restoration. This subseries of our Ask the Expert podcast shares the stories of the people in restoration and remediation from all corners and levels of the industry. I'm your host, Valerie King, R&R's editor in chief, and I'm thrilled to be joined today by Leslie Anderson, who is Senior Vice President of Training and Launch with Paul Davis Restoration, which, if you weren't familiar, is a restoration franchise with nearly 350 locations throughout North America. Now, Leslie joined Paul Davis in 2011 as an operations manager, and in her current role, she works to ensure new and existing Paul Davis franchise owners are able to provide outstanding service, empathy, innovation, and trust to their customers. Recently, Leslie was elected to the 2022 IICRC Board of Directors, which makes her the only woman on the current board of the Global Standards Developing Organization, which is a huge deal. Thank you so much for joining me, Leslie, and congrats to you on that election to the IICRC board.
Oh, thank you so much, Valerie. I'm excited to be here today.
So excited to have you. Thanks for being here. All right, so can you elaborate on your role, as I very briefly mentioned with Paul Davis today, really your high level objectives along with those day to day responsibilities?
Absolutely. In my role currently, I'm focused on developing and delivering educational opportunities for our network that truly drive results, retention, and engagement, and ultimately performance to all of our team members. We've really implemented a hybrid type of learning that encompasses instructor led classes, those face to face classes, hands on, which is so important, fun things like gamification, virtual classes. And then day to day, I work with other Paul Davis team members to support the needs of the field and our home office. We just have a really strong culture that encourages collaboration and really good communication among our groups.
Thank you for that. So, what topics do you train franchise owners on? And if you could give us a sense of, I don't know, the scope and the scale of the training you offer, how many franchises a year or how often you offer these programs?
Absolutely. So we've invested numerous resources in creating a team here at Paul Davis of true subject matter experts. Our focus is on a few things: estimating, project management, financial acumen, mitigation, construction, commercial mold, and then absolutely the latest technology, because our teams need that to drive speed and accuracy. We currently have about 330 franchises, and we train every week on different topics. We have a set schedule of core classes, but then we do customized courses for individual office needs that they may have.
Good to know. Okay, so what is the story behind where you are today? How did you get here?
Thank you for asking. It's interesting. In the early 2000s, I was working with a small restoration company that really focused on janitorial and residential. And during a lunch with one of our representatives, a vendor we work with, that's Sherwin-Williams. His name is Rich Gilmer. He challenged me to see beyond residential and look towards commercial restoration. I don't think he had any idea that the conversation we had that day sparked a fire within me that led to this point. He planted that seed of what could be possible if I put my mind to it. I went on to own a portion of a full service restoration company. I did consulting, and then in 2011 joined Paul Davis. But I truly do not think any of my success would be without support and mentorship, and the value of collaborating not only with people that we talk to on a daily basis, but our vendor partners. I just think that relationship can't be overstated.
Thank you for that. Speaking of mentorship, of course, your role is huge in helping uh, inform the trajectory of Paul Davis owners. So, I'm curious, with so many franchises within the Paul Davis network, what is it like for you serving in such a role where you're impacting so many franchises and, of course, then so many customers as a result?
It sounds simply, but it's freaking incredible. I love my job. Each day I really ask myself, did I make a difference today? If our teams have the tools, but more importantly, the motivation and support to learn and execute, they just they have a competitive advantage. I would say our CEO, Rich Wilson, has really developed a culture of being a part of the solution and just making a difference wherever you are and whatever you're doing.
Thank you for that. Kind of layering onto that question, because you're working at such a large scale across the franchises that are across North America, what would you say the keys are to ensuring value is delivered? It's not like you're working with just one business. I mean, how do you deliver at such scale?
Gosh, I just have one word for that one, and that is the constant value of feedback from all of our network. We hear from the field, hey, Leslie, this is working, or this isn't working. And if they say it's not working, our classes get stopped. We don't continue with it. We collaborate with other subject matter experts and we get it right. Our process is ongoing, and I would say our education is continually evolving. Something very interesting we do at Paul Davis is when something isn't working, we collaborate with franchise owners across North America and we get their input as well. So it's really a collaborative effort to reach the end goal of delivering education that really will help them move the needle.
Good to know. Okay, so I'd like to switch over to your election to the IICRC Board of Directors, which the news has clearly been very well received. Even just in R&R sharing the news on social media, the engagement has been great. How does it feel to be on the board? What are you feeling?
It's humbling. When I get up in the morning and I look in the mirror, I see a girl who's dirty, cleaning offices late at night, maybe lugging a heavy dehumidifier up the stairs, trudging through probably layers of muck and mud on water losses and full PPE. That's where my brain goes. I don't see the girl on the board. I see the girl who is working hard to help those in my community. I would say without the mentorship of Sonny Bass, I wouldn't be where I am today as far as the IICRC. He truly inspired me to pursue all my goals and believed in me. And it's also clear to me that I have so much to learn, not just from the board, but certainly the shareholders as well.
All right. Now, speaking of your goals, what would you say your key objectives are within that realm in serving as an IIC board member?
My biggest wins in life are always when I've helped someone else achieve their goals. A current board member has started to develop a really cool mentorship program that would inspire and coach folks into leadership roles within the IICRC. This is an area where I feel I would add significant value to the board and many of the IICRC registrants. Additionally, the IICRC has a substantial legacy with the shareholders. I want to promote the IICRC and its growth and stature. And I want to grow our registrants by promoting the standards and the importance of showcasing the available career paths. As our industry is faced with capacity issues, I think that is instrumental in showing people the path and the light to what they could do in their career in our industry.
Thank you. So, I talked about social media earlier and how well received the news of you joining the board has been. And you shared in a comment the importance of mentorship. You've mentioned it twice already in the interview. Is there anything you'd like to add to the importance of mentorship in helping you advance professionally?
Oh gosh, absolutely. I'm so passionate about it. For me, it was several people along my path. Some gave me a new way to look at something or an idea, or others pushed me not to give up and to believe in myself. One tip I was given by someone here at Paul Davis, Laura Ferrante. She said to me, put a photo of myself as a young girl on my bathroom counter, which I did, in pigtails. That's what's on my bathroom counter. And tell that girl all the amazing things she will do if she works hard and believes in herself. And so I do that each day, speaking something just positive to myself. And I would say this, I challenge each of us to look back on your professional path, your career, and see who stepped up and helped you in those defining moments. This much I absolutely know for sure is that none of us got here alone. Take time today to thank someone who believed in you. And in turn, I really believe we should see where we can make a difference and help someone else.
Wow, thank you for elaborating on the role of mentorship. What has it been like over the years being a woman in restoration? How has that impacted your career?
I would say it's definitely had its challenges throughout the years. But I wouldn't have had it any other way. I think if it had been really easy, I'm just not sure I would have appreciated this moment right now talking with you as much as I do. Because as I've mentioned to you, the impact was both men and women that have made me where I am today. And so for me, I just surround myself with committed people, man or woman, who want to work towards a really substantial goal. Achieving success is not easy for anyone, regardless of gender. And my motto is absolutely work hard and never give up.
Thank you. All right, we're nearing the end of the interview. My favorite part where we talk takeaways. First question under the takeaways umbrella. Can you share one or a few takeaways on what it takes to create a successful training experience for restoration contractors?
Absolutely. The first one is prepare the learner for success. I'm a firm believer in that pre work that allows that learning to begin before the class. Once it's complete, though, I think this is something we all forget is share education post learning that helps them to retain the content you talked about. And then the third for me would be remember that one size doesn't fit all. So adapt your learning to create education that appeals to every type of learning style.
Thank you. In the work that you do with training and as you talked about adapting to meet different people's learning styles, what tools and technology would you say are most important to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Boy, innovative technology, it is the fastest thing to drive efficiencies when helping folks in the field and in our communities. We have seen some of the coolest technological advances in restoration, and it's changed over the years I've been in the industry completely with everything we do. Matterport for improved scoping and estimating. You're now seeing drones to help us on roofs where we couldn't reach areas. We've got mobile devices that make it easier for us to monitor those psychometric readings on the job sites. Working with great companies to develop these new tools like dehumidifiers and air movers that make us more efficient. I really think the technological advances we're seeing now will truly allow us to increase our pace and absolute accuracy on a job.
All right. What would you say your biggest challenge is right now?
That one's easy. It's just one. Finding great people to deliver best in class results. Capacity is the number one challenge right now.
Yes, I can't say I haven't heard that one before. What would you say is the biggest lesson that you've learned over the course of your career in restoration?
Yeah, this one is one I have to remind myself each day. It's to believe in yourself. And even when you fail, and guess what? You will fail. Get up, try again, and fight for another day.
Great, great inspirational advice for all of us to take note of. Um, what sources do you turn to for inspiration and education?
I am a frequent TED Talk listener and find great inspiration in Brene Brown. There are three things printed on my desk. One is a quote by President Theodore Roosevelt titled The Man in the Arena. The other is a quote by Brene Brown that there is no innovation and creativity without failure. And the last is a pink sticky note that says, did I make all 86,400 seconds count today? And then the last for me for inspiration is our leadership here at Paul Davis. I have a mentor, Mike Hopkins. He's our chief operating officer at Paul Davis. But if I ever need him, he's a text, a phone call, an email away. And for all of us in the field, he understands that this world happens 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And I wouldn't be here without his support and mentorship along the way.
Okay, on to our final question. I would not dare leave without asking you it. What advice do you have to share with fellow women in restoration who are looking to advance as you have?
Absolutely. My biggest one would be get involved in the industry. Whatever it is you're passionate about, do that and build your brand, network with other women, and more importantly, practice continuous improvement. Really learn to get better in the areas you're passionate about. Work hard. And back to my motto, absolutely never quit. And when you fail, and remember I said you will, dust yourself off and try again.
Well, thank you for joining me, Leslie. I appreciate your time and insight. Before we go, where can listeners go to connect with you or to learn more about Paul Davis Restoration?
Absolutely. You can find me on LinkedIn, Leslie Anderson, and pauldavis.com. You can find any information about our franchise there.
Very good. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, listeners and viewers, for more insights on restoration, remediation, and the people behind it all, visit our website, randrmagonline.com, Apple, Spotify, or YouTube. And if you haven't yet, please be sure to follow the podcast so that you can keep up with our latest episodes and give us a quick review and rating. We're also on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook, so we invite you to follow us there too. If you're interested in sharing your real story in restoration, no matter where you sit in the industry or the world or your level, please reach out to me at kingb@bmpmedia.com. This has been R&R's Real Stories in Restoration. Thank you for listening.